Let me ask you, what do you know about investments? My dad is a financial advisor, and I grew up watching him buy and sell and trade in the stock market. I often would walk into the living room and he would be watching that very boring show that just kind of showed what was going on in the stock market with the little ticker at the bottom, with things that were going up and down and whatnot. Still doesn't quite make sense to me. But it was amazing because he knew what to buy, he knew what to sell, and he knew how to trade. And this brings me to ask you today, what are you buying in your life? Proverbs 23:23 tells us what we should be buying in our lives. I'm just going to look at one verse with you today. It says, "Buy truth and do not sell it. Buy wisdom, instruction, and understanding." That's it. Proverbs 23:23 tells us what we should be investing in our lives, what we should be acquiring in order for us to make the best decisions as we go on day after day after day. Now, I got to give you the context of this verse because it's in a saying which is talking about honoring your parents. And so first and foremost, you ask the question of where can you buy these things, right? You have to know where to go to get these things in order to buy it. And Proverbs is saying your parents is where you begin. Your father and your mother are where you can go to buy truth, buy wisdom, buy instruction, and buy understanding. Now, if you don't have parents at this point, I think it's anybody who's a trusted person in which you can go to where they can tell you truth, where they can give you wisdom and instruction and ultimately help you understand. And so there are people in our lives where we can go in order to buy these certain things. And then ultimately, we can think of Jesus. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And so we can go to Jesus and acquire truth. We can read about Jesus and who he is and how he wants us to live each day through his word, which is our ultimate standard of truth. You see, we need to think about this idea of what we are investing in. The New Testament talks about it time after time. It says, set your mind on things that are above. You see, buying truth and buying wisdom, buying instruction and buying understanding, it takes intentionality in our lives. It takes this idea that we need to invest in those things because those are going to give us the greatest return in our life. And so the question you have to ask yourself today is, what are you investing in? What are you buying? And what return are you getting from those things? Take a moment to go through the questions in the post, and I hope you have a wonderful